Hello, everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from CNN Travel, which I'm finding a little strange that it's under CNN Travel. You would think where they're trying to push this narrative, they would want to put it under regular CNN, but I think because they know that this is kind of weak what they're doing here, and they really don't have anything to back their bullshit, they're trying to tuck it away under the travel section. But it's written by Harmeet Kaur. I know I'm butchering the last name, really don't care. Published on August 21st. Look at the title here. Human malware cases tied to the Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Dakota have reached across state lines. Now they're trying to be, producing fear and make people scared and everything else. You had and they also try to play it like there was less people, but if you do the math, there was probably more. Because they're like, well, previous ones there was 500,000. You had so many people that weren't working. I did it when I found out my mic wasn't working just after I was done recording. Before that, I recorded this video. And the reason why my mic wasn't working, I'm an idiot. The settings got changed for my recording app. But anyway, one thing I did is I went and did some math. All right, I'm going to do it again here. But you had probably closer to 600,000 and change people there. More than the 500,000 they're going to claim. And you've got 24 cases from the rally. 600,000 people. 24 cases. That's like 0.0000000% infection rate, something like that. So yeah, let's get into the article here. Human malware cases linked to the Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Dakota last week have now reached across state lines to Nebraska, public health officials have said. Oh no. What gets me is they're bitching about this. There's 24 cases. But did they bitch about all the massholes border jumping into fucking New Hampshire being super fucking spreaders, okay? Because they were the main reason New Hampshire had the numbers it did. Because where our infections were all the fucking border jumpers happened. Crossed over. Did CNN bitch about that? Thousands upon thousands of massholes crossing the border. Well, no, because it's a Democrat state, they're not going to bitch. They're not going to say, pay your 5% sales tax and shut the fuck up. Of course not. No, they don't say a goddamn thing about that. But 24 people out of 600 some odd thousand test positive, or 24 cases as a result of the rally. And they're going to try to fucking turn it into like this end all be all big thing. Some ridiculous shit. So anyway. So it reached across state lines. Big friggin' whoop. At least 7 human malware cases in Nebraska's Panhandle region have been tied to the rally. Kim Engel, director of the Panhandle Public Health District, confirmed in an email to CNN. So we've got 7 cases there. The department said that contact tracing has been completed and declined to comment further. So 7 cases. When you had over 600,000 people there. The cases that have appeared in Nebraska are the latest ones to be connected to the 80th annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, which took place August 7th through 16th. Yeah, 7 cases there. Minnesota also confirmed 15 cases of human malware connected to the rally, according to Chris Esserman, director of the Minnesota Health Department of Infectious Diseases Division. Of those 15 cases, 1 person has been hospitalized. Health officials say they expect to see additional cases in the next few days. Esserman said. Now, I find this funny, okay? Right there, we've got 22 cases, 1 in the hospital. They're trying to portray it like super spreader situation with Sturgis. While at the same time trying to claim the people that are supposedly protesting, that are in large groups, looting, rioting, beating the shit out of people, just generally acting a fucking fool, haven't caused 1 fucking case of this shit. Bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, well, they're not causing any of it, but you got to go after the Sturgis rally. Huh. Why could that be? Because bikers tend to be conservative. Bikers are, just happen to be overwhelmingly, as a general rule, Trump supporters. It could be, that bikers also don't buy into the left's bullshit, so we got to condemn them, we got to target them, we got to make them out to be the scumbags. I wonder if that's why. We all know it is. So we got 22 cases so far with over 600,000 people. South Dakota's state health officials announced Thursday that a person who worked at a tattoo shop in Sturgis has tested positive for the virus and could have possibly exposed people during the event last week. So we've now got 23. The person was an employee of Asylum Tattoo Sturgis and could have spread the virus to others on August 13th through 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m., officials said. Okay, we would have noticed it by now, I think. Earlier this week, officials said a person who spent hours at a bar during the rally had also tested positive. So we've got 24 now. That individual visited One-Eyed Jack Saloon in Sturgis on August 11th from noon to 5:30 p.m. while able to transmit the virus to others, health officials said. So we got 24 people confirmed. Anyone who visited, either the tattoo shop or the salon, which are located at the same address during that period, should monitor for symptoms for 14 days after the visit. Okay, well, they obviously weren't necessarily there until, the final day. So we've already got cases showing up. I don't think this is going to be as big as you think. You've got 24 cases? At this point we've counted. I believe that's that's the total. Rally had raised concerns. Health experts were concerned that this year's Sturgis motorcycle rally could be a super spreader event. Yeah, 24 fucking cases is a super spreader event. The 10-day mass gathering typically draws crowds of more than 500,000 people from all over the country, including human malware hotspots. All right. So they're saying 500,000 people. Now, South Dakota Department of Transportation officials tracked more than 462,000 vehicles entering Sturgis during the rally. Okay. And they're trying to say that was a decline. Though the total was 7.5% decline from the previous year, it's still one of the largest mass gatherings since the start of the pandemic. They're trying to say that less people showed up. Let's do the math here. That's what I was talking about when I said I did the math. 462,000 vehicles. Now we're going to say overwhelmingly they're motorcycles. Now you're going to tell me half of those motorcycles don't have women on the back riding bitch. Bullshit. So we take 462,000 vehicles. We take half of them. That's 231,000. So that means you got basically, we'll say 230,000 more people than the number you're claiming. So you're saying there's less people because you had 462,000 vehicles as opposed to 500,000 people. You're trying to say that means there's less people. But you got all those women who are riding bitch, which puts you well over 600K. So you've got more people who showed up there. Your math sucks. You got more people who showed up there, and you've got 24 fucking cases. 24 cases. And you're trying to portray it like this is a scary proposition, that this is going to lead to mass spreading. This is while you ignore massholes jumping the fucking border and acting as super fucking spreaders. This is when you ignore the people that are on the streets looting, rioting, acting a fucking fool, beating the shit out of people, as they gang up on them in a group and shit like that and burning shit down. Okay, and you go, well, they ain't spreading shit. Do you see the fucking lunacy of the shit you claim? Because on one side you're saying these people that are acting fools have not caused one fucking incident, and you're freaking the fuck out and trying to condemn bikers because you had 24 fucking cases when over 600,000 people were there, which is 0.00000 whatever fucking percent for an infection fucking rate. It might even be more zeros. Jesus Christ. You had more people and you're trying to say, there was less. Your math doesn't plan out. Many of the attendees did not comply with the health guidelines, such as wearing masks and keeping distance from others, as seen at a concert for the rock band Smash Mouth. Yes, they didn't do that. You had over 600,000 people there easily, and you had 24 cases. What does that tell you? No social distancing, no masks, over 600,000 people there, and you've got 24 fucking cases. What does that tell you? What does that tell the average person? Well, for the average person, if they actually pay attention to that shit, it shows that you are so full of it, it's not even fucking funny. Oh my God. This fucking chick that wrote this, she's a fucking idiot. She actually thinks that this like is gonna like pass, like it's gonna keep people stupid. They're not gonna realize shit from this one. From this article, like she's full of shit. A little more than 60% of people in Sturgis voted against holding the motorcycle event. Actually, that's completely wrong. I've already covered this previously. There was no actual vote. All right. If you go back to my other video from a couple weeks ago, there was no actual vote. This had already been approved well before this point. What they did was they had a town meeting, for the to approve the things that they needed for the rally, but the rally had already been approved. So there was no vote, and there wasn't 60% of the people against it. You're full of fucking shit. And of course, they linked to one of their articles where they lie through their fucking teeth and try to claim there was a vote. Okay. But yeah, a little more than 60% of people in Sturgis voted against holding a motorcycle event, even though they never held a vote on deciding whether or not there was going to be the motorcycle event this year. Makes a lot of sense. But city officials said they felt they wouldn't have been able to stop the crowds from coming and instead opted to prepare for the event as best they could. See, they had a vote about the fact of shutting down the roads and shit like that for it. But let's just leave that out because it's a little inconvenient. There are people throughout America who have been locked up for months and months. Daniel Ansley, the city manager, told CNN last week. So we keep hearing from people saying it doesn't matter. They are coming to Sturgis. So with that, ultimately the council decided that it was really vital for the community to be prepared for additional people that we were going to end up having. Yeah, because you know what? These people are sick of this shit. You're trying to be like, oh, well, there was less people, but you have all these people who are sitting at home, aren't working, that wouldn't normally be able to go to Sturgis, but they're on an extended fucking vacation, and you're trying to say less people showed up, but if you do simple fucking math, and you say, well, they recorded this many vehicles, and if you conservatively say half of them had a woman on the back, half of those numbers, where they're almost all motorcycles, had a woman on the back riding bitch, you're up to over 600,000 people. But there were less people there. But you can't have it be more people than the 500,000, have over 600,000 people there, and only 24 fucking cases, because your narrative falls apart. You wonder why people call CNN fake fucking news. You idiots there. Well, this is a prime poster child fucking example of it. I mean, this is ridiculous, but I mean, ultimately they decided that it was really vital to have the things they needed. And they got 24 fucking cases by preparing for having people there. And you're trying, 24 cases were there, okay? And then I love this. They try to link this to it. South Dakota reported 193 new cases on Friday. It's one of the several states that has seen an increase in new cases this past week compared to the week prior, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. And they're twisting and manipulating the data, and I love this. This has nothing to do with Sturgis, but they're trying to make it sound like it does. Slap that little smack in at the end, out of spite. They're also looking at you also got to look at the fact of the methodology and everything else and how they're testing and what type of test you're talking about, because you've got them combining tests. You've got antibody tests and you've got the tests of you being actively infected being combined. You also have with these, tests that test for antibodies, people who have the common cold testing positive. You have them counting numbers for shit when they're not even necessarily infected. I mean, when you have states reporting no fucking cases of flu, but everyone has fucking human malware in that fucking state, something's going on. And that's happened in more than a few states in this country. They're shady and shifty. 193 cases. How many people live in Dakota? In South Dakota, I mean? So you got less than 200 cases. You got 1,000, how many thousand people? What does that work out to? 0.00 point whatever percent or more zeros or whatever? I mean, it's ridiculous how they're trying to portray this shit. Anyway, 24 cases is a super spreader event, basically, is what CNN's trying to imply here. I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.